Hello again, everybody. Zach Attack is here with my TNA Impact Wrestling review for tonight. Excuse me, there. Thursday, September 19th, 2013. Alright, because still in St. Louis this week. It was live last week. Now it's taped this week. Now they didn't do like they did when they did Hardcore Justice. They had like 2 weeks of Hardcore Justice. Like 1 week they had it, and the second week it was like part two. So they didn't really have like an all swing of part two tonight. But we did have some interesting things on OK Impact tonight, including a verbal showdown between AJ Styles and Dixie Carter that got a little personal. And I kind of agree with AJ's points that he made, which I'll get to when we get to that interesting segment. Plus, we have a new Knockouts champion, which is them of a couple backstage things, which I'll explain when we get to that match. Plus, we have possible matches hinted for Bound for Glory. Besides the big one, AJ Styles against Bully Ray, of course, since AJ won the Bound for Glory series last week. So we begin tonight with, well, Magnus, the man that AJ Styles beat last week in the BFG finals. Magnus was like the leader of the pack. You know, he was the favorite to win the whole thing. And I said it last week, I love AJ winning. And I kind of can understand why AJ's winning, because they can have this whole AJ Dixie Carter storyline play out. But I'm kind of mad at not pushing Magnus farther than he should be pushed. You know what I mean? Like someone say, oh, he's too early. I said it last week, and I'll say it again. We all said the same thing about Bobby Roode 2 years ago. When Bobby Roode was in the BFG series, we're like, oh, he ain't ready yet. He should not win the BFG series. He's not ready to be a world champion yet. Well, look what happened. He won the damn thing and became a big star. He became the it factor. So there you go. So Magnus came out talking about that said man, Bobby Roode, who was in the semis, who lost to Magnus in the semis, and kind of got involved in Magnus' match against AJ, when he and his group Ego got involved and kind of attacked both Magnus and AJ during the match. The match continued, but AJ kind of flourished after that distraction, kind of helped AJ got the victory. So that's what Magnus came out for, saying, hey, Ego, your egos sticking your heads in my business led to me losing. He was like very angry, so he's like, come on out, Ego, I want to fight one of you right now. So here comes Kaz to come out, answering the challenge apparently. But then it became 2-on-1. Then 3-on-1. And Magnus said he was going to leave his brothers, his Man of Mafia brethren, in the locker room. Well, they were in that locker room, but they couldn't help but get involved after Kaz and Daniels and Roode decided to triple team on Mr. Magnus, which led to the appearance of Sting Samoa Joe. The last remaining members of Man of Mafia left since Hudson Rehab and Rampage is out of TNA, and I love AJ's point by MMA guys coming in, which I'll explain when AJ's promo comes up. So Sting's like, hey guys, you want a triple team? How about make it even? 3-on-3, 6-man tag. So we got a main event for the evening involving the Man Event Mafia against Ego in a 6-man tag. Speaking of people's egos, I think Chris Sabin's got a little bitter. I think his ego's got it big ever since losing the World Heavyweight Championship to Bully Ray. He kind of snapped on Knox a few weeks ago and is now engaging a relationship with Velvet Sky. I think Velvet Sky's feeling bitter about not being in the Knockouts division too, about not being in the title picture there too. But Sabin's a lot more bitter. And now he had a little compensation with Manic. Manic, aka TJ Puckins, was about to be in a non-title contest against one of his favorites. A dream match for him to wrestle one of his idols, Jeff Hardy. Sabin kind of like, oh, I'm the one making you a star. I think, like I said, Sabin's become a better guy, and we would kind of see the transformation to a heel turn during a matchup involving Manic and Hardy, with both Mr. Sabin coming out along with Velvet to watch the match. You know, it's kind of a back and forth matchup because these two are evenly matched. You know, I said in my attack the other day that both these guys are like high-flying guys, you know, very unorthodox styles of both these guys, and it's going to be very intriguing to see how those guys are going to contrast, you know, that contrasting styles. And it was kind of a back and forth battle. Both guys were going for the big high-flying moves. Like I said, they kind of echo each other, and kind of an evenly matched evenly matched these two guys. Well, Hardy went for his big moves, the whisper in the wind and the big rope move. Like he was going to do like the big jump in the corner, but Manic blocked that move. And Manic blocked every attempt that Hardy tried for the Twist of Fate move. And Manic just kept flying back, and of course Saban was still watching it up and standing there being an observer in this matchup. But then of course, after a okay attempt by Manic to get back in the game, of course, the experience won out. Because, of course, Manic, the guy who's playing Manic, TJ Perkins is a young guy. He's kind of inexperienced that much. He's still learning. But, of course, experience got the best of Manic as Hardy finally nailed the Twist of Fate, leaning towards the Swanton Bomb in the 1, 2, 3 victory for Jeff Hardy. Jeff Hardy pulling Manic back up for a show of respect, raising his hand. But as Manic was still licking his wounds, here comes Chris Sabin, looking like he was going to congratulate Manic, lifting his arm too, until Manic, when he wasn't looking, got cheap shotted by Sabin from behind, attacking the hell out of Manic, and then winning as Hardy was coming to the rescue. So like I said, I think Sabin, you see his character now. He's better. He says, everything's mine. I'm the guy. He kind of feels the same as AJ. Like AJ and Sabin are two guys that were originators of the TNA, two founding fathers, should I say, the TNA originals. And both big members of the X division. They became world champions and multi-night tag champions. And Sabin's like, I don't get much respect around here. I think Sabin's like, Manic's a disrespectful guy. I think Sabin's paranoid and heel again. It could be hinting towards an exhibition match, a title match against Manic at Bound for Glory. Could be. The seeds could be planning for that. And seeing Sabin heel again, I think, how long has it been since Sabin's been a singles heel? A long time. About 6-7 years. Nice to see him heel again. I love Sabin. I'm a Michigan guy. Miss his partner, Shelly. Love to mention about AJ. I keep mentioning AJ's promo. Because things come up that makes me remind me of AJ's promo. And AJ makes some good points. Shoot, storyline or not. So there you go. Sabin finally went nuts again. I think, like I said, Sabin's better. And he wants respect. And he's sick of the respect. And could be heading towards a match with Manic at BFG. I thought this next match might be for Bound for Glory. But it's now going to be tonight. It was tonight. Allergies bugging me tonight, sorry. ODB against Mickie James for the Knockouts title. Now, ODB came in like a woman possessed, jumping straight at Mickie when the bell rung, swinging for the fences. But after the early fury from ODB, Mickie James, the egomaniacal diva that she is in his character development, I kind of like this heel, Mickie James. In any company, I don't think she hasn't been a heel in any company since she first came into WWE. The schizophrenic heel to make AJ look sane. I mean AJ Lee, not AJ Styles. Because she was like the stalker of Trish Stratus, her character when she first came into WWE. And ever since the TNA, she did the country thing, and look what happened. She's now self-centered, and you see that during the matchup, blowing herself for some big moves as she came back in the game with a typical Mickie style moves, trying to go for her big giant moves, her big DDT, and some nasty kicks and punches. But of course, as Mickie James was dominating ODB, of course, with a little help of liquid courage, a little flask, ODB got back in the game, coming back with some nasty kicks and nasty offense of her own, going for a big power bomb following, countering a head scissors move by Mickie. But of course, ODB wanted Mickie to hit her, and then of course, ODB kind of psyched her out of it, and going for a big giant move, a big finish bear following Mickey's last second comeback attempt, trying to regain her title. But after that, bam, her little finishing move, the 1, 2, 3 victory for ODB. Yes, we have a new Knockouts champion. 5-time TNA Knockouts champion, ODB. Being the only knockout besides Angelina Love and others to become a 5-time Knockouts champion. Now, of course, I kind of read about this, but not really discussed. A lot of people have contract disputes. TNA's so broke, they have so many people wanting to leave. Hulk Hogan wants to leave. I said on my attack one today that Hulk Hogan's contract's up. Some rumors about him. Of course, AJ Styles' contract. Like statement about that too that he made. And of course, Mickey's contract is still negotiating, but her contract's up, so Mickey's out for now. They're just dropping the title until Mickey James can come back or not, but who knows. But till then, we have the new Knockouts champion celebrating with her husband, Eric Young, along with Joseph Park coming with milk instead of flask alcohol, because Joseph Park / Abyss, same fucking person. Celebrating till, of course, the bromance, of course, I'm referring to douche Robbie E. and lesser douche, Jesse Sorensen, coming out and saying, "Hey man, hey bro, we're sick of this BS, man. Sick of people like you and all this shit. But Eli married an ODB and blah 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 blah. We want to fight tonight, Park. Because shows the Park, you're a fat piece of shit." Well, they said fat bastard eventually, but still. First they challenged Joseph Park at first. But Joseph's like, "Hey, I got my suit on. I got my lawyer suit on, but look all loyally. How about Eric Young fight you?" Because Eric's like, he's got a suit on, Joseph's got a suit. I don't. So Eric Young took a little fight with Bobby E. and pins him in like less than 5 seconds. The bell rings, beats him up with a clothesline, roll up 5 seconds. And Bobby's like, "Okay, Eric, I wasn't ready. That wasn't really a match. I wanted you, Joseph Park. You fat bastard." That's when he said it. And really angered Mr. Park, which led him to later accept the challenge of Bobby E. And then Joseph Park beats him in 10 seconds with a clothesline and a roll-up. Maybe Bobby E was getting squashed tonight. And then after Joseph Park beats Robbie and his partner, Jesse, didn't take it anymore and beat the crap out of both Eric Young and Mr. Park as they were both celebrating their respective victories over both Robbie E. Like both beating Robbie E. So they got beat up by Robbie E. and Jesse. After the match, they took out Eli, attacking him outside, throwing Punk against the ring post, then slamming down Eli on the outside, and Punk went back inside, and after getting nailed in the face against the post, he sees blood. You know what happens when Joseph Park sees blood? You don't like it when Joseph Park sees blood. When he sees blood, he hulks up. He signals. He gets the spirit of his brother Abyss every time he sees blood. He sees the blood, and Jesse and Robbie E don't know it. He's like, and boom, double clothesline, destroying both Robbie E and Jesse, delivering a choke slam to Jesse before Robbie went for a different type of slam, a black hole slam. And once again, like this always happens, like a Jekyll and Hyde moment, just like that, Joseph psychs out of his zone after seeing the blood. He's like, ooh, he snaps out of it. It's the weirdest thing that Joseph Park does. He's the only hint of Abyss, because like I said many times, I've said this for like the last year. If you don't get it by now, you're still fucking gullible idiots, oblivious idiots. You still don't know that Abyss and Joseph Park are the same person. And full evidence, he did Abyss's moves. Is Abyss ever going to come back? But I think people like the Joseph Park character. I think it's why sticking with him, because like he's a lovable guy, his character. And I've said it for months that the way the guy playing Abyss is playing Joseph Park as a gullible idiot, he's a great actor, but acting like a gullible idiot. He's doing a great job of acting it, but come on, bring back Abyss. One day. Even if it's one time only. Maybe if you bring him back for Bound for Glory and bring back a Monster's Ball. That'd be fucking badass. Still, there you go. Robbie E gets beat up by both Eric Young and Joseph Park in less than 10 seconds each before Abyss, the spirit of Abyss, comes out and Joseph Park in a post-match attack of both Jesse and Robbie. Now, on with our next scenario, our next segment involving the now fractured Aces and Eights Club. Now, Aces and Eights have been falling apart for last couple weeks. You may say that the involvement of both Tito and, of course, now with him out, the involvement of bringing Book Testmark into the mix, it's going to split the Ace and Eights apart. That Billy Ray doesn't care anymore about what the club wants, more about what he wants. He's dumped a lot of people. His ego's got the best of him now. The club's now faltering because of his ego. Devon's now gone because his contract was up and he lost that 10-man tag a few weeks ago at Hardcore Justice Part 2. And then, of course, the straw that put the camel's back, should say, was what happened last week when Mr. Anderson challenged Billy Ray for a title match, which ended up with the other Ace and Ace members, like I said, when I predicted this match, that the other Ace and Ace members, Knox, Briscoe, and Bischoff, had to make a decision. Who are they going to side with? Billy Ray or Anderson? Well, they sided with Billy Ray at that point and helping Billy Ray get the big victory over Anderson in that last man standing match. But I think tonight, Knox, Briscoe, and Bischoff, I think they realized they made the wrong call. I think they should have aligned with Anderson. Because Billy Ray's like, I'm Bully Ray. You know who I am. I'm the president of Ace and Eights. I am the TNA World Champion. I'm the guy who can do this what I want. And Nux, Briscoe, and Bischoff, get in line, fuckers. I'm going to kick anybody out, whoever I want. Doesn't matter. Because I kicked out Anderson. And I want to thank the one person, Brooke. That kind of insulted the other members. They're like, wait a minute. We're the ones that busted our ass for you. We're the ones that basically do your dirty business. When you're in trouble, who's the ones who come out to save your ass and save that precious title of yours? Not that hole, like Knox said about Brooke. We. And Billy kind of slapped him. They kind of got to a bit of physical. We've seen this tension build for weeks. I think it finally came to a head tonight with this little physical / verbal confrontation, which led to Knox want to beat the crap out of Billy Ray before Billy's like, come on, Brooke, let's leave. Before any further physical contact by Knox kind of escaping cheaply. Speaking of cheap escape, on to our next matchup, which was set to be a tag team match. And last comment, like I said, Ace and Ace is falling apart in the storyline, and they're gonna split them off. You'd see the tensions building every week. The other three members are now realize they made the wrong call. I think they're gonna break up. I think Ace and Ace is gonna split up within a month at Bound for Glory. Funny, because Bound for Glory last year was the night when they got in officially. When they officially got clearance to go in TNA again after being banned for a while by Hulk, and when Devon made an appearance when he was gone for a while, and now they may make up at Bound for Glory. Who knows? Now, like I said, Billy Ray cheaply escaped. Chavo Guerrero cheaply escaped. He kind of faked an injury. It was supposed to be, like I said, a tag team match involving the tag team champions, Gunner and James Storm, taking on Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez. And that kind of big implications. Chavo Hernandez could have won a tag team title match tonight by being the champs in a non-title match. I think they're turning heels too. You kind of saw the hints last week, like saying, Storm, you're great. You're a great tag team guy. But not as great of a tag team guy as me. Or like he said to Gunner last week, Gunner, you're pretty strong. But not as strong as Matt, as a Hernandez. A lot of people are turning heels who haven't been heels in a while. Like I talked about Saban turning heel. Mickey James has turned heel for a while. And now Chavo Hernandez is turning heel. I haven't seen Chavo turn heel in either TNA or WWE in a long time too. He was a great heel. Although it was really annoying. But still, I think he's going to be an annoying little dwarf again like he was back when he was a heel the first time. And he said, listen guys, I guess he kind of faked an injury saying, I am not able to wrestle tonight. I've talked to my doctor. He's like, I got a knee injury. So I can't wrestle tonight. But Gunner's like, hey, you know what, Chavo? You may be hurt, but not the big man, Hernandez. So it ended up being a singles match, Gunner against Hernandez, as Chavo stood by and watched while James Storm stood by and did his favorite thing, drink beer. That's James Storm's thing, and we love him for it. Bill Swilling Redneck. So Magnus later on, but Gunner took on Hernandez, and of course, both these guys are very strong guys. So it's kind of a power struggle between these guys trying to overpower the other, with kind of like the Hardy Manic match. These two guys were kind of evenly matched because, like I said, like Manic and Manic and Hardy were both contrasting styles because they're both, high flying guys. And then as Gunner had contrasting styles kind of too, with both going for the power game. But Hernandez is so agile. He can splash. He can fly as much as a small guy does, which he did his running splash as usual until Gunner blocked it. Of course, even Gunner got some big power slams on Hernandez as both guys were junking for position. It's kind of a back and forth match. It was an matchup as Hernandez going for his little power moves with a big shoulder tackle and a suplex move, and ended by Hernandez until Gunner blocked it and going for his own little suplex and a couple clotheslines until he went for his little backbreaker move and a 1-2-3 victory with that backbreaker. I think it was a really nasty backbreaker. Is he retiring the torture lock? Is Lex Luger getting a hold of TNA and suing him for Gunner using his move, the torture rack? Anyway, so Gunner gets the victory over Hernandez, getting the last laugh. And John was like, we can beat you. We can beat you. We'll see if... I think these two are going to wrestle Bound for Glory too. Another match that could be Bound for Glory could be these two teams. And it could be at the pregame. Because they were like advertising Bound for Glory and advertising the Before the Glory pregame at 7 that night at Bound for Glory, October 20th on Spike TV. And they have a picture of Gunner and Storm. So who knows? Maybe these two teams are going to fight in the pregame. Who knows? But I bet that these two teams will face off at Bound for Glory, whether it's the pregame or the main pay-per-view. Speaking of anything main, on to our main event, involving the Main Event Mafia in a 6-man tag. Of course, it was Sting teaming up, bringing his baseball bat in hand with his main event brethren, the last one standing, Samoa Joe and Magnus. It's just me, or it's both Ace and Ace and Main Event Mafia dwindling in numbers. Ace and Ace is more dwindling in on-screen, the dwindling. And Ace and Main Event Mafia is breaking up off-screen with Angle going to rehab and Magnus and Rampage being taken out. So, of course, these people took on not Ace and Ace, but Ego. Of course, Storm's former tag team partner, Bobby Roode, along with Kaz and Daniels. Of course, Samoa Joe started off for his team, dominating the early half for his team, getting some nasty moves, some big chops, and literally chants of Joe, but I still miss the Joe's gonna kill you chants. But as Joe was dominating, here comes the hot tag, the Madness in, getting his own little moves until he tagged in Sting to get his own taste of the action, beating up Kaz and beating up on the outside. But as Sting was taking control back for his team, he got kind of tripped up by Daniels when the referee wasn't looking, which led to Kaz going for a little leg drop on Sting, which led towards Ego getting back in the game with isolating Sting in their corner. They took control for the later half of the matchup. Isolating Sting in their corner, getting the hot tags in and out, and taking every advantage to get Magnus and Joe so wired up they would distract the referee so they can triple team on Sting when the referee wasn't looking. So it took advantage of Magnus and Joe's emotions. Even getting the referee distracted when Sting was trying to make a tag back to Magnus, the referee didn't see it. So every advantage they took to distract the referee, Ego took it by isolating Sting and really dominating over Sting in their corner for the last half of the match. And I kind of saw this coming. The way Sting got back in the game, I think Daniels was holding Sting back to go for a move by Daniels holding Sting up, going for Magnus. Cass was going to make a move on Sting, and Sting ducked it, and Cass hit Daniels. I saw that coming. Then Sting got the hot tag to Magnus. As Rude got in the tag too, and Magnus came in like a man possessed, a house of fire, whatever analogy you want to use. Until indeed, all hell broke loose as Magnus came in got the Joe in. They got a little double team move. Like Joe did a suplex on Cass, which led to an elbow by Magnus. And the pin attempt was thwarted. And that led to all hell breaking loose with all 6 men getting into the ring and just beating the crap out of each other on the outside area. And it was just chaotic scenes with everybody beating the crap out of each other. With the Sting getting in there. Of course, Sting and he got beat up on Daniels a little bit. Beat up on Kaz. Ended with a big stinger splash on Daniels with the whole match went into hell. Broke, like when all hell broke loose. And Sting got the Scorpion Deathlock after the stinger splash on Daniels. And as the referee was distracted again, Wood was going to hit Sting with the baseball bat to break the Scorpion. But then Magnus kind of took the bullet for Sting. He got hit with the baseball bat instead of Sting. He took the bullet. And as Sting got cleared out and Daniels got cleared out, of course, Rude, being the legal man for his team, and Magnus being the legal man for his team, Rude pinned Magnus after that baseball hit with referee not looking. 1, 2, 3, victory for Ego, getting the victory over the NBA with a little cheating and using Sting's baseball bat. And Rude got a little revenge by pinning the man who pinned him last week, taking him out of the main event about for glory, taking him out of the BFG series, of course referring to Rude getting pinned by Magnus. So Rude had his revenge, and Magnus has been on a losing streak. He was in the finals, he lost the finals, and already lost this match. So hopefully Magnus can come back strong after this little setback. So after we saw the main event Mafia lose the main event in a little cheating way by Ego, their Ego's getting the best of them again. Dangerous team though. Even with the BFG series over, they're still a team. I thought they would break up by now, but the Mighty 40 reunion is on. Of course, also in that group Fortune, besides the 3 members of the new Ego, were Ric Flair, James Storm, and AJ Styles, which led to our last segment. AJ Styles talking smack, sticking it to Dixie. Now, like I said, I loved AJ's points, and AJ's kind of like, he's like some would say that Austin Aries is a CM Punk of TNA. AJ Styles may be the new CM Punk. When it comes to talking, he delivers his own little pipe bombs. He delivers his own pipe bomb, even dissing CM Punk a few weeks back, which led to this revelation tonight. He won the BFG series and said, Dixie, next week I'm going to drop a bombshell on you, bitch. This is your wake-up call. Then AJ had a vicious promo. Really slammed Dixie to hell and made some great points. Like I said. And good points they were. AJ came out saying Dixie called him. TNA was a company full of young guys who wanted to wrestle. Young guys who couldn't get work anywhere else. Especially when WCW went out of business. And this was our place. When Jeff Jarrett and his father bought it. First started it. Then your little daddy had to buy the company and let you own it. And you basically ruined it by making your little mistakes of hiring people and firing people who didn't deserve to be fired and all that stuff. And every time AJ would make a certain point, the crowd was just like, oh. You know what I mean? Because he's like, Dixie Carter, TNA was unique for one thing. We had the X Division. With all these young, talented guys. And the X Division, in my mind, was the heart and soul of the TNA. It was like the cruiserweights of the WCW. The cruiserweights made you want to watch WCW. Like, made you want to go back to it. You had the big draws, like the NWO brought you in. But it was the great athletic matches of the cruiserweights that made you come back to WCW. They were TNA. TNA had the big names like Hardy, but then they had guys like AJ Styles making you want to come back and watch it again. And AJ's like, what happened to those X Division guys? They all went by the wayside. You got rid of them and hired assholes who require big paydays like Rampage and Tito. MMA guys who don't deserve to be in wrestling. Made some great points. You know what I mean? Making points of all the guys that Dixie got rid of. You know, Alex Shelley, Petey Williams, Jay Lethal, Jerry Lynn. You forgot Amazing Red in there, AJ. You had Low Key, Senshi, what do you want to call him? Or Kaval. Sanjay, didn't mention him, but still. I mean, all these guys were part of TNA. They got rid of them. Got rid of uniqueness, like AJ said. AJ really burned Dixie. Like I said, his own little pipe bombs. And like I said, the points were very good and true. Because Dixie turned TNA sucky. I love TNA still, but still, Dixie kind of wounded backstage by firing all these unique guys, and now without TNA, they gotta look elsewhere. Like Jay Leto's now stuck in fucking Ring of Honor, and Alex Shelley's stuck without a job, or maybe working in the local indies, like Petey Williams did for a while, because he was working in a local indie heel called Clash Wrestling here in Michigan, including being the Clash champion until he came back here, then got pushed aside again. So after AJ made his little points, and really delivering his own little buns to Dixie, here comes Dixie to retire it. Is it just me, or is TNA going to do the thing that TNA loves to do? Whip off WWE. Seems like Dixie may turn heel. Like Dixie may become the new Mr. McMahon, the heel boss. And you saw that after Dixie, a lot of people's turning heel. Hernandez is turning here with Chavo. Saban's now here, and now look who's turning here now, apparently. Dixie caught him. But it didn't look like it at first. Because Dixie came out to kind of respond to AJ's accusations of mistakes that she made and turned TNA from a promising young company to just a washed up company where all got turned into a new WCW, or whatever. So Dixie came out to kind of respond to AJ's accusations, saying that AJ, I'm sorry, I made some mistakes, and I owe it to everybody, and I owe it to these fans, owe it to our sponsors, that I made the mistake of making you believe your own hype, making you believe that you're better than what you really are. Dixie started bullying AJ, started Dixie all these points saying that, AJ, I'm the one who made you. I'm the one who made the moniker for you, the phenomenal one. You're more like the marginal one now, because you're not the same AJ that came in. You're a bitter son of a bitch, basically. She didn't say it, but you know what I meant. Saying that you don't believe the illusion. You believe that you are the phenomenal one, which you're not. And saying that you say that this is the house that AJ Styles built? This is the house that Dixie Carter built, honey. And without me giving you a job, you would be stuck in a trailer. Some points of her own in his own little storyline thing, and really dissing him, and she got really intense. You could tell, worked, shoot or not. This was a very, very intense verbal confrontation between AJ and Dixie. And after Dixie made her little points, making a little retaliation, her response to AJ, finally making a response because she didn't really respond to the initial AJ pipe bomb that responded to this. AJ's trying to respond back by Dixie again, but then Dixie's to the back. Guys in the back, cut AJ's mic, cut the lights, cut the cameras. This show is done. So that's how we end Impact with Dixie hastily ending Impact after AJ's comments. This feud's gonna heat up big time. And I'll be surprised if it all comes down to AJ getting screwed by Dixie at the pay-per-view. Because AJ's contract is going up, but AJ's I don't even have a contract. Or no one has a contract who has no respect for you, Dixie. And a lot of, TNA's going broke. I mean, they're going to get rid of taping soon on the road as early as next year. They're losing money. They're finding people left and right. There's been contract disputes with Mickie James, like I mentioned. She could be leaving. As I said in my attack on earlier today, Hulk Hogan might be leaving. His contract's up. We didn't see him again tonight. So, and AJ's contract disputes are very much publicized too for not having a contract at all, blah, 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 blah. So, it's going to get very, and I'll not be surprised if not only if Dixie becomes a heel boss, whipping off WWE, again, like TNA always does, and screws AJ out of the title at Bound for Glory, but becomes a member of Ace and Ace. That would be fucking surreal if Dixie becomes a member of Ace and Ace. Like I said, especially since Hulk Hogan's leaving the company. Or could be leaving the company. So there you go. I expect this AJ-Dixie feud to heat up in the next couple of weeks. This is just a warning shot. This is going to get very intense as we head towards Bound for Glory. It's going to get vicious from here. Like BTO always says, you ain't seen nothing yet. That is it for my TNA Impact Wrestling review. I'll see you all later with that in mind. You've all been attacked by the review. I'm Zach. Thank you all very much for watching. Have a great weekend. Enjoy these last few days of summer because fall, first day of fall is Sunday. Enjoy these last few days of summer, everybody. See ya. Yeah.